Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I certainly did. Whilst it was Christmas, I got myself a new gaming chair. Well, lies. My parents got myself a gaming chair, or Santa if you're younger, because Santa is real. But got myself a new gaming chair. It's very nice, actually. And you'll probably notice I'm propped up a little bit on FM videos now, because I can just go like this, in which I'm quite tall. Or I can go like that. And I think the lowest height's probably best. So I won't be doing any of this anymore. I'm trying to try and get up to the height of the webcam. I think it's perfect, actually, now, the height of the webcam for FM. But it's the 27th of December. I really hope you enjoyed your Christmas. I probably needed a few days break for FM. I haven't played it since Christmas Eve. But now it's just getting to Season 3 of the road to lead to a new, complete season just after Christmas. And to be honest, I need to get my health self a little bit refreshed, because I haven't obviously played this since the 24th of December on Christmas Eve. So, the worrying thing we're going to start with, the worrying stat we are going to start with, is that the media believe that we are favourites to go down. Does that show the bad summer we've had? I don't quite know. Is there any of our key players in this list? No. Oh no, there is, I lied. Bailey and Fitzpatrick. So both of them are still at the club. Fantastic. Let's have a little bit of a talk about what's happened over the summer. So in terms of transfer history then, we brought in 6 players. Now ignore Hugo Scapahorn. For some reason I was going to negotiate a new contract and then I accidentally released him on a free. I know, what a stupid thing to do. But he's come back technically now. And yeah, he signed a new contract. And the only player who hasn't signed a new contract this year is Nat Jarvis. All the other players that are here, apart from the ones that are part-time, the likes of Chris Fawcett, and I think it's just Chris Fawcett and Alfie Crooks as well. All the other players are full-time and have got new contracts. Apart from Nat Jarvis, who's just on a month-by-month contract now. I'm not quite sure whether to extend his contract, but it's just a simple thing that he's just on a month-to-month contract and will leave as and when he sees fit. But we brought in 5 transfers in, the first one being Charlie Philpott, because Jojo Wallacott went back to Coventry. He actually got released by Coventry. We tried to get him, and apparently we weren't big enough to achieve his aim. Same went for Ryan Law as a left-back, so we've had to replace him as well. Now, Charlie Philpott, it's a little bit worrying, because he's our main goalkeeper, I think, unless we brought someone else in. No, we haven't. And he's only 1.5 stars. He's a useful rating. He's got a real good potential. As you can see, he's only 18. 10 days younger than me. That's a bit frightening. But there was nothing I could do. So we bought George Phillips in as well as from Colchester on loan. He's about the same ability. It's really just going to be a fight, a case between which one is the best. And he was out on loan at Ramsgate last season. Did decently okay in two divisions below. But I just didn't know what to do. So that's probably a bit of a disaster. And expect a few more goals going than usual. We also brought in Harry Horton, who was released by Yeovil Town, I want to say. Yeah, he was released by Yeovil Town in League 2 after last season. He actually started at Southampton. And was on loan at Exeter at some point. He can't play today, unfortunately, because he has got a pulled calf muscle, so he's out for a few days. But he's got a decent potential. He hasn't got a brilliant ability at the moment, so he's going to be in and around the first team squad, hence why he's a hot prospect. We also brought in left-back Stephen Morley. Billy Jones left the club. I'll expand all that in a little bit. So Stephen Morley is going to be a replacement. He's played before. He's got plenty of experience, as you can see, in these sort of leagues. He started at Kettering in the National League North in 2004. And last year played 35 games at East Thurrock in the National League South. And as you can see, he's played for Tamworth before, he's played for Flemington. He's been at plenty of clubs and got plenty of experience at this level. So he's just the player we need. We've also brought in Neil Williamson on loan from Exeter City, who is a striking option, I believe. He's really young, but he's got some really good stats. He's pretty much about level with Hugo Scapahorn at the moment, and can be really good in potential. And Exeter will play the wage for the duration of the loan, and he's a defensive forward. So let's see how he gets on. So in terms of players that have gone out, we've actually not sold any players, but there are going to be a few players who have released. And as you can see, there are definitely a few players who have released. So ignore Scapahorn, but unfortunately our captain Tom Fawley has left. Now, it's not really unfortunate. I had to make the decision. It was a tough decision to make, because the likes of Tom Fawley and Danny Glover, those sort of people, I've had to get rid of. Because Tom Fawley, 29, ageing, and as it says there, only signed Fawley as a last resort. So as you can see, really, Fawley, he just wasn't good enough for our level and what we're aiming for. We also released Lewis Wright as left-back at the end of the day as well. He wasn't good enough. He was decent. We just want to improve things, really, and get rid of a few of the players that we don't need. We also got rid of a few youth players. So Kassem Hughes, if you remember him last year, he scored in the FA Trophy, but his potential wasn't great, so I just got rid of him. Same goes for Aidan Burrows and Bobby Long, and as well as Chris Roberts, who's also 17. And unfortunately, they just weren't good enough to make it to the first squad. Also released was Sam Ogier. He's 33. Well, now he was just aging, you know. Sam Ogier, good backup option. But I felt we've got some decent central defensive options. We've got Bailey Wheatley, Matt Bowers back at the club, of course. and we've got a few players in the under-18s as well. And we've got Bellinger, who can also play as a centre-back. So we've got enough security there, so I felt that was good to release him. And then Alan Burton and Derek Niven have both gone the two defensive midfielders we signed in Season 2, purely because Niven was 35, so way too old, and Burton just won't get in the game, and I didn't really want to spoil the dynamics. And as you can see, the dynamics look really good. In terms of social groups, it's only Williamson and Morley that don't quite fit into that core group at the moment, but is there anything else to talk about? I don't quite think so. There's a few offers coming for Daniel Griffiths and Hugo Skeppel. We've actually signed Daniel Griffiths, I believe, well, we did sign him last year, didn't we? But he still hasn't scored for the club, but we have signed him on a contract, pretty much a youth contract of £10,000 a year. Finances still aren't that brilliant. We've lost £59,000 this season, but I guess that's because we haven't had any games yet, obviously, this season. This is our first game. So really, that's all we've got to discuss, really. We haven't done much over the summer. In terms of National League North, relegated to promotions, Brackley Town are new in the league, Droylsden are as well, Halifax are, Leiston, Solihull Moors, as well as the team we're playing today, Gainsborough Trinity, who got promoted from the Evo Stick Premier Division, so the same as we did last season. So that's a nice start to the league this season. And then obviously the National League, Altrincham going to that league, promoted, as well as who else got promoted? It was, in the end, I should really have a look at last season's standing Sunday rather than this. I think it was Eastleigh. No, it was Boston, sorry. Boston got promoted due to the playoff promotion. So that's all good. But really, our aim is to avoid relegation, get mid-table. I think that's what I put this season. Mid-table, yep, that's what I'm happy to get. But for some reason, I think we're going to finish last. So they just might not think we've got the squad depth. We've start with a game against Gainsborough Trinity first off today. And then we also play against Bradford Park Avenue. Blimey, I've been going on for a bit. It's already 7 minutes. So it might be a bit of a long one. But you haven't had a video for 3 days. So I suppose you can have a nice bumper one today. Gainsborough Trinity are favourites, which is a bit disappointing. And I don't quite know why they are, because we're not that bad. But that's a good point. As part of last year's youth candidates, Ben Carozzi came through, an English 16-year-old, and wow, he looks good. He's 16 years of age, he's already 1.5 stars, and he's got an amazing potential ability. Apparently, the players last season were meant to be part of the golden era, something like that, the golden year. So that's a really good youth intake, and I believe he played in a few of the friendlies. Well, he played in one. He played in two, actually. He played in two. Got a decent rating there. And Josh Fryer as well. Well, he's a long way off first team level. I thought he might have been the one who we have also got, who's a good player in the under-18s. Obviously, Giscombe's still there. He's in the first team, but he's still injured. And then we've also got Adam Williamson, obviously. Or Adam Thompson, sorry. Is an exciting prospect as well. So we're starting today with Phil Pott in goal. Bellinger, Bailey, Wheatley and Morley, because Morley's the only option. Sam Carter's defensive midfielder. Fitzpatrick and Adams central midfield, Laurie central attacking midfield, and Davies and Skeppel, and if I can get my words out correctly, up front. As you can see, we haven't really got much depth, but we've got Phillips on the bench, we've Bauer, Carozzi, I've just been talking about, Griffiths and Jarvis, plenty of attacking depth. Of course, Horton and Giscombe can't play today, and yeah, that's what we're going for today. So I don't think really Alfie Crooks might have a future at the club, because you've got Daniel Griffiths, you've got Carozzi, who might just come and overtake him come the end of the season, so he might be one of the players who's a bit of a scapegoat. But am I looking forward to this season? I don't quite know, because last year I felt that not getting promotion was good, because we wouldn't have been ready for the the National League proper, full stop. So that's good, but I don't know. I'm a bit worried that we are favourites to go down this season, and last year didn't quite end so well. I mean, we had a good run. We were in the playoff place for a while, but then all of a sudden it started to tail off a little bit. But we have kept sort of the same group, majoritively, of players. We've kept the same group, you know, we've got, I think the first 6, in terms of Adams, Fitzpatrick, and further up, are the same players. It's just we've signed a new left-back and a new goalkeeper, and it's already 1-0 to them. Jesus Christ. Going to be a long season, I think, this season, as long as we don't get relegated. But the only trouble is, we might be a bit stuck in this division, because I don't know if we've got the finances to move up. That's the real issue. And this is lagging. Oh, God. It's lagging on my screen, so I dread to think what it's going to be like on your screen for the highlights. I can only apologise for that. I'll just turn it down between games to medium rather than high. But they've got a corner now. Fitzpatrick puts it into Adams, and it's nearly 1-1. I thought it was 1-1 then, but it wasn't. And I don't quite know what we can do. I don't know whether it was a fluke last season or what, but 9 out of those 11 players were in the squad last year. So there's no reason why we should get relegated all of a sudden this year, but we seem to have a decent start. We've had more possession, we've had more shots, we've definitely got the attacking intent, but yeah, it is going to be a long season, and I don't quite know if we don't go up this season, and if we start to get a bit worried, the bottom of mid-table, where this series quite goes, because at the same time I would love to complete this series. There is a question about, well, if it takes 10 years to get to League 2, is it really much point continuing the series? Because there's no point you guys watching us doing successive series and successive seasons in the National League North. It just gets a bit boring, doesn't it, in the end, I think. But we've been the better team, I think, here. We've done decently. We just conceded a stupid goal at the start. Davis is a bit tired, so we are going to bring Jarvis on for his first game of the season. And apart from that, I think we're okay. I think match fitness is decent. We came back 5 weeks before the season actually started, so we've got a decent amount of match fitness for this season. But yeah, I am just worried, that this isn't going to go quite as well as I planned. We've got an attacking though now, so showing a bit more attacking intent, but Skephorn loses out. He's a big player this season. It's a big season for Skephorn this season, because if he can't perform, then he'll go. Simple as. Because last year he scored all his 10 goals pretty early on, and didn't score for 20 games. It's a bit of a worry, but Adams puts his face to Jarvis, who shoots, and nearly gets us an early goal on the second half. But as I said, Skephorn, he played really well in the Evo Stick League. He played well at the start of last season, but this season, it's a big season for him, and that was nearly a goal there. Philpott, got to give credit to Philpott. I mean, he's 18, and he's starting for us, which is a bit of a worry for him, and there's no senior figure to look up to. But even though we are showing the attacking intent, we haven't a highlight when we've had a shot on goal now, which is a bit of a worry. But we are going to take Laurie off because he looks a bit tired. And we'll bring Daniel Griffiths on. And we might just give Carosi his debut in favour of probably Adams, because Adams is getting a bit tired in a bit, to see if he can do anything. But there's nothing happening here, to be quite honest. We had the one highlight really early on, and apart from that, not much else. So we're going to get in the dribble less, be more expressive, a bit of a higher defensive line, as it were. And hopefully we can get something. Right, Carozzi's going to come off for Adams. Carozzi can play as a ball-winning midfielder. And he can play on support. I'm happy with that. And hopefully, he can bring a bit of youth, a bit of, fire to the game. A bit of something that he wants to show how good he is. But nothing's quite happening. It's been a really boring game. I mean, we seem to have had more shots, etc. But nothing's happening. But here we go. Morley. Come on, son. Oh, he's lost it already. Well done, Morley. Carozzi. Can he get an assist? Carter. Fitzpatrick. Put it out to Bellinger. Good lad. Bellinger. Puts it back across to his left-back partner. Morley. Into Griffiths. She shoots. Jarvis. Oh, my God. That was an absolute sham. There was about 5 people who could have shot there. Griffiths could have shot. And Jarvis did. And it was a bit of an embarrassment. We still have got a minute and a half left here. Can we get a late goal? Because I would hate to lose his first game and start badly. Skephorn puts it into Fitzpatrick. He shoots. And Jarvis scores. Jarvis gets the rebound from a Fitzpatrick header. And Hednesford Town have equalised. Thank the Lord for that. That's just not what we wanted. We didn't want to lose in our first game of the season. I think that's the worst thing you can do. It really drops morale. But we've got a draw here. We've got 1 point on the board at least. And as you can see, Fitzpatrick has a header. But Jarvis gets it back. And it's 1-1. And that's pretty much it now. The final whistle will go fairly swiftly. And that should be it, I believe. That should be it. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So we have got a point today. So that is good. I'm happy with that. As it said, Hednesford Town, one of the happiest supporters this evening. I still don't know why the pundits aren't favouring us. It's a bit weird. But yeah, we've proved a lot of people wrong by avoiding defeat there. We'll just say that. But we have got Bradford Park Avenue, who we had, I think, in the second game last season. And we beat them quite comprehensively. So can we get off to a good start? 2 unbeaten games. Be fantastic in a second. A few changes then due to fitness issues for this second game of the episode against Bradford Park Avenue. Philpott keeps his place in goal. Bauer comes in for Bailey, who's a little bit tired after that first game. Griffiths comes in for Laurie, who's also a bit tired. And I thought we'd give Neil Williamson the try on his first game. The guy from Exeter, who's come on loan, our parent club, in place of Skephorn, because Skephorn didn't really play that well last game. It was Jarvis, to be honest, that got the goal, so Jarvis should have got maybe a place. But we're just going to go with this. By the way, folks, I need to ask you if any of you know how to get individual faces into FM. I've got face off the internet. PNG faces for Skephorn. I've got a face for Davis. I've got a face for Bellinger. I've got one for Jordan Wheatley as well, I think. And when I added it to the face packing, I put all the right IDs in. I reloaded the skin, and whilst I thought, whoa, Williamson shoots, and he scored. Fantastic. Well, we'll come to that in a second. But I put all the unique IDs in, but even though all the other faces come up, they don't. Weird. But what an inspired choice that was. Neil Williamson, the 17-year-old on loan from Exeter, has got his first goal in a Hednesford shirt, 8 minutes in, against Bradford Park Avenue. Could he just be the player, the youngster who just wants to show how good he is, who might just well knock Skephorn off the top in terms of our youth halo? Interesting. Well, we can't count our chickens yet. You know, he's only scored 1 goal. It's not as if he's a world beater yet. It's not quite like he's Marcus Rashford. But he's Neil Williamson. Remember the name, Neil Williamson. As they said with Wayne Rooney, remember the name, even though that was probably before I was born. But anyway, 25 minutes in here, we are winning away from home against Bradford Park Avenue. And once again, we seem to be defying the odds of the pundits and all that, and doing well. But the one thing we need this season, as well as a bit of league security, is a good run in the Blamming Cup. Because we got to the first round of the FA Trophy and got dumped last year by a team that was lower than us. We got dumped by a team who was lower than us in the second qualifying round of the FA Cup last year. So we really need to focus and just hope that we get some, preferably the FA Cup rather than the FA Trophy, but get a good run, hopefully. And then we can bring a bit of money in, as well as a bit of more exposure to the stadium. Because we have sold about, I think it's about 50 more season tickets this season, about 250 season tickets, which is brilliant compared to about 200 from before, but that itself isn't going to quite do the finances brilliantly. If you want a bit of context, I don't actually know what they are in game, but I believe, stop me if I'm incorrect, but I believe a season ticket is about £200 for Hednesford. Of course, they have obviously they're playing the Evo Stick League at the moment, so they would have 21 games at home, I want to say. Williamson's through again though. Davis, nearly a goal. But they have 21 games at home a year, and it's about £12 to get in usually. So what do they say? They're saving about something or other. They're saving about 50 quid, let's say. But yeah, it's about 200 quid. So if you say 225 times 250, might have increased because they've gone up a division. That would be what? 250 times 20... 250, well, it's 250 squared, isn't it? Which I don't really want to do. But, to be fair, actually, that's quite a decent amount. 250 season tickets for £250. Actually, that is quite a big amount, yeah. I mean, times back by 100, that's 25 grand. 50 grand. Is that 60 grand? I know I'm going off topic here, I do apologise, but that's quite impressive. But we are still losing £50,000 this month, even though we've had the inflow of season tickets. How bizarre. But we brought Carosi and Jarvis on to see what they can do. I'm going to keep Williamson on and see if he can spark anything. But if he's the reason why we win this game, remember the name, because he's going to be used a lot more in this series. And Skephorn might just well be the scapegoat, as well as Jarvis, of course, because Jarvis is only on a month-by-month contract. But, of course, we've only got Williamson this season, so we can't be gloating too much, because I can guarantee, with an ability like him, Exeter probably want him back at the end of the year. A Fitzpatrick to Morley, to Carosi, to Griffiths, through to Williamson, into Jarvis, and it's 2-0 Hednesford Town. Williamson has a fantastic debut. It's a goal and an assist. Jarvis gets the goal, and we are coasting to victory away from home from Bradford Park Avenue. This is fantastic, because last year we really struggled away from home. But today, from a team that was meant to finish last in the league, 4 points from 6 would not state that a team was supposed to finish last in the league. And we're playing with good intent, and that's really nice. We're just outside of the playoffs. We're obviously in the, well, we're just outside the playoffs and goal difference. We can get another goal. We're into the playoffs, which is a good, fantastic display of why we should. Oh God, Wheatley's going to lose it here, isn't it? Oh no, that's a good recovery. But he does lose it again. Knight puts it in. Bauer gets it out. Lovely stuff. He puts it up to Jarvis. He loses it. Appling's got the ball. It's a bit of a scrap in the middle of the park, really. If we can retain possession, that'd be fantastic. Again, he's going to pass it out to the right. To number 2. Why did I think that? Vidal. Arturo Vidal's taking a bit of a league step, but Bateson has a shot. But Philpott says it. Credit to Philpott, you know, we've only conceded 1 goal in 180 minutes, and technically that first goal was in the first 2 minutes of the last game. So he hasn't conceded a goal for 178 minutes, which is not too shabby at all for an 18-year-old who's meant to be rubbish. But then Appling to Rowe, we probably just jinxed it there. But Wheatley, fantastic ball out. Jarvis, square it to Williamson. Go on, son. That's just a bit selfish. But Jarvis was up on goal, had a shot himself, and it didn't quite pay off. Didn't quite pay off in the end, I think it's fair to say. Did not quite pay off. But that should be nearly full time, and it is 2-0 to Hednesford. What a fantastic game that was, and what a decision it was to put Neil Williamson in the game. He was the man of the match, and obviously he was seen as a danger because there was 9 fouls against him. So he's a real danger, and I'm glad to have someone like him in the squad. A youngster who shows a bit of firepower, someone who shows that bit of firepower, and obviously everyone else played the games before, so we've climbed above Tamworth, Leiston and Leamington to 9th in the Vanarama National League North. So what a fantastic first episode that is. 1 draw and 1 win. If you'd have got me that before the start of the episode, I would have said definitely thank you very much, FM gods. But I've been TIJ. Thank you so much for watching. In the past, I don't really know what I'm saying this, but there is a stream at 2 PM today. Well, I am speaking today, but yeah, it is today. There's a stream at 2 PM today. Obviously, if you have watched that, thank you very much for watching that. But there will be a new weekly stream in the new year. Watch out for my New Year message at some point near the new year. But yeah, I've been TIJ. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow at 6 PM. Normal service resume now on FM18. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 PM. Goodbye.